In the fight against poverty, understanding is the first step. The OECS-led CDB-funded Enhanced Country Poverty Assessment Project, or ECPA, prioritizes poverty reduction in the context of sustainable development. The ECPA project strives to accelerate poverty reduction and promote economic stability by obtaining and aligning data with policy direction in the region. It has been at work from 2023 to 2025, collecting data, analyzing households as well as institutions, and building a clear picture of localized poverty in the OECS. This detailed information will allow policymakers to create programs and interventions to address poverty.
The Enhanced Country Poverty Assessment Project was implemented over the last 2 years. And what we sought to do was to use some of the surveys of living conditions that had been done in the OECS member states to measure poverty, vulnerability, inequality, and those types of conditions between and within different subpopulations. One of the most, I would say, impactful ways in which, or immediate ways that you can think of that ECPA will have an impact is, for example, I discussed the poverty line, which is an amount of money that allows a person to be able to satisfy their very basic needs. All right, that's an amount of money. Now, if you translate that into a cash transfer program for the vulnerable, persons who have disabilities or special difficulties attaining some of their basic needs, all right? They may be destitute, they may have mental challenges, all of these type of problems. You must have a way of deciding what is the amount of money that the government or an institution supporting them should provide those persons to ensure that they do not fall into, a situation where they are extremely hungry. All right? So this is a key statistic that is derived from this data. It's called the poverty line, or that amount of money. Okay? And the ministries of social transformation use it to decide what is the level of the cash transfer to provide to individuals. That is one point. The other one is the minimum wage. The minimum wage that St. Lucia, for example, would have implemented is derived from that very same poverty line I referred to. It computes an amount per employed person that will ensure that the household will not fall into poverty. In St. Lucia, there's one program that the government has been doing. It has been partnering with, for example, the internet access providers to provide low-cost internet, right, to households. That is very important, and it will, depending on how well it's implemented and how widespread it's implemented, it will have an impact on reducing the level of poverty and vulnerability. As we wrap up this ECPA project, going forward, we anticipate that the effort to measure poverty and vulnerability within our member states in the OECS will continue, will be persistent, will be stronger.
From data to direction, the ECPA project has laid the foundation for targeted, community-first solutions. The ECPA was implemented by the OECS as part of the provisions of the OECS's revised Treaty of Basse-Terre in creating an economic union that facilitates economic development and builds resilience. CDB played a vital role in the success of the ECPA project by providing both funding and technical support. Poverty wears many faces, but with knowledge, we can respond with clarity, compassion, and action. The Enhanced Country Poverty Assessment Program, Inform, Engage, Transform, leveraging poverty data for equity and sustainable development.